Do you ever wonder if it's intuition speaking or just anxiety lying to you again? Join me and the cards for this journey, because by the end you'll know how to tell the difference and start trusting yourself again. Welcome to Maiden Mother Crone Tarot, where we hold sacred space for divine divergence, also known as ADHD. My name is Kayla, and I'm so glad you're here today. If you've been craving a gentler way to reset your mind, body, and spirit, I created something just for you. My free 3-day reset offers small, doable practices that help you rebuild trust in yourself without overwhelm. You'll find the link below, and I'd love to see you there. Today's tarot topic is, can I trust my intuition, or is it just anxiety? Tarot for rebuilding inner trust. We're going to work with the Maiden, Mother, and Crone spiritual archetypes to give us guidance in this topic. We're going to start with the Maiden today. Maiden, can you please give us guidance for, can I trust my intuition, or is it just anxiety? How can we rebuild inner trust with ourselves? How can we step back into community with our inner self, trusting our intuition and being able to discern between anxiety and that little voice within? Okay, that one. We got the 7 of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. Ooh, with the King of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Ooh, ooh. That is clarity right there. Thank you so much, Maiden. This deck is dedicated to the Mother. I will shuffle it off camera due to the artwork. Mother, can you please give us guidance for this intuition or anxiety? How can we rebuild self-trust? How can we learn to trust our inner guidance? Okay. I'm not going to take all these. We'll take the first 3. Okay. And we had the 3 of Wands on the bottom of the deck there. So she gave us the 6 of Swords, the Queen of Cups, so we got that twice, and the 8 of Wands. And then our last archetype is the Crone. Crone, can you please give us guidance today for intuition or anxiety? How can we rebuild self-trust? How can we learn to trust that voice we hear within? And how can we discern whether this is true? Oh, wow. Well, here she is with her signature card, the 8 of Swords. I feel like she throws it out there all the time. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit. Look at this. She's holding a snake. All right. So she gave us the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and then the 8 of Swords. Okay, so I'd like to invite you to join me in a grounding breath quickly. We will breathe in for 6, hold for 2, and breathe out for 8. While you're breathing in, I encourage you to quiet the mind, scan your body, and begin to open up to start that conversation with your intuition again. We'll breathe in for 6, starting now. Very good. Thank you for joining me. We'll start with the Maiden's message today, giving us the 7 of Wands to start us off. I think every woman with ADHD understands that the true battle we have always carried has been with the voice inside our heads. We've always been defending against all of the negative, intrusive thoughts, against all of the, you're not good enough, they're not going to like you, you're too slow, you can't keep up. All of those thoughts that bombard us time and time and time again. And so because of that continuous fight that we've had to put in, it has really led to some exhaustion to be able to continue to take the high ground, to ward off all these negative thoughts, to understand that we're going to be compassionate with ourselves. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And in that constant battle, you can become overwhelmed and tired and get into a mental fatigue. When we have our executive dysfunction that is completely just overwhelmed, we don't have any executive function, right? We have dysfunction because it has been so bombarded, so overwhelmed, so taxed that we have not been able to rest. We've not been able to slow down. We've not been able to make decisions. And in that murky area, in that overwhelm, is when anxiety can creep in, when self-judgment can creep in, when we lose touch with the one that's been fighting for so long, that inner voice, the truth, the soul truth that has been trying to stand up for you, trying to come in as the Knight of Swords clearly, swiftly, with honor and integrity, and saying, no, that's wrong. No, that's not true. Don't believe that. But it's been hard. It's been a struggle. But we have the Queen of Cups here. And I love to see this because it always reminds me of Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. I'm a huge fan of his, not affiliated in any way, but his work has completely changed my life. And I did link the books that have done so in the description if you want to check them out. But with the Queen of Cups here, this is emotional energy. And all of the queens, they're healers, right? They are the embodied presence of that energy, the calm, the ability to sit with your emotions and not be swayed by them. Sit with your emotions and understand that they are just a temporary moment here. They're not the whole story. But with the King of Swords at the bottom of the deck, this is tying into Dr. Joe because his work talks about how our thoughts create emotions in our bodies, and then those feelings make us feel more of those same negative thoughts, which creates more of the chemicals, which creates more of the feelings. And it's this endless loop that goes around and around and around. And so to truly be able to trust yourself, to trust your intuition, you have to be in this King of Swords energy where you are cutting anything that is a lie. You have the utmost clarity. You have the utmost discernment. You have the utmost understanding of what is yours and what is not. And you are able to sit with your emotions and not let them continue to feed into that negative pattern. You're able to sit with your emotions and see them and hold them and honor them, but stop them from proliferating in your life. Stop them from keeping you in this fighting energy. Because once you have this true message of clarity, once you know the truth and you have a standard to compare it against, cutting away becomes very easy because you can stand firmly in this knowledge that no, that is not a reality that I am a part of anymore. That is not something that is true of me. Transitioning to the Mother, we have the Six of Swords here. Look at how beautiful the Six of Swords card is. I love the colors in this card. It's very peaceful and serene, which is ultimately what this card is about. Taking action, riding in this boat. But this is Swords energy, so this is all in the mental space, right? This isn't physical, this isn't emotional, this is mental energy. So how are we using this King of Swords and this Queen of Cups energy to transition from that state of fighting over and over and over again, defending over and over and over again, to being steady in the boat and taking deliberate action to get to a calmer area, to get to a place of promise, a place of prosperity, a place of this Queen of Cups again, right? We got the Queen of Cups twice. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous and calm and at peace and radiating safety for those around her. Because when you can be safe in your emotions, when you can be safe feeling your emotions, then you're able to allow others to have that same safety in you, find that same safety in you. And with the Eight of Wands, this is very swift energy that's going to come in and catapult everything else in your life. Momentum that snowballs and carries you forward. Look at how this water is rushing forward into your life. We have the two moons here. So a lot of things that may have been unclear can become swiftly clear. You can understand, like I said, it's very easy to defend when it's clear, when everything that was once murky and ununderstood becomes illuminated. When we are expressing with this Three of Wands, expressing a desire to be adventurous and step out and trust our intuition, because if we are following our intuition, then we can know any adventure we take is going to be okay. It's going to be the adventure we need to take. We're not getting off track. We're not going off course. We're always in the right spot. We're always learning. We're always evolving. But then the Crone, she takes it a step further and she says, yes, you can trust your intuition once you have grounded. Look at this divine union here, this divine feminine and divine masculine energy. We have the Queen of Pentacles, and then we have the King of Pentacles. Look at all of the royalty on this table. The Queen of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords. And then that's followed up with the Hermit, a major arcana card. The introspection needed, the ability to go off the well-beaten path and to go into the wilderness of your mental landscape, the wilderness of your emotional landscape, and to go and explore and say, you know what? I'm going to explore and feel and see and know that I'm safe to feel these feelings and to evaluate these thoughts, because there is no right or wrong. It's just an experience. It's just a feeling that I'm here in now. Once you do that, you're able to ground into the truest expression of yourself, the truest, most material version of yourself, right? It starts in the mind and then it goes through the emotions, but then it starts to be expressed in the outer world, in the 3D world. And you have this Queen of Pentacles. You have this King of Pentacles, this embodiment, this ability to delegate, this ability to show others in your life how to do this as well. And when you were once caught up and tied up in this Eight of Swords, this life where you didn't know whether to trust what you were thinking, what you were feeling, because you thought it was just anxiety. You thought, oh no, it's just my RSD. I'm just afraid that somebody's going to fail me or somebody's going to reject me. Any other limiting belief you had, any other limiting expression of your identity, you've worked through that. You're crystal clear. It's no longer keeping you bound, because you cannot do that. You cannot tie up these royals. It's not going to happen, right? They have an army to support them. They have the support of their spirit guides. They have the support of their family, of their sacred kindred soul community. Us here for you. This Eight of Swords energy cannot stand, will not stand, because you are taking the time to do this introspective work, this reflective work, the work that starts with you, starts within, is an inner journey that can completely transform your life if you are willing to commit to it. It's not easy work. It's simple work. You just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other, keep exploring one more thing about yourself. But it's not easy, because those things that we discover we may not like, we may dislike extremely, we may want to hide, put that away where others can't see it. But we can't have good without bad. We can't have abundance without lack. We live in a world of duality, and we wouldn't understand the meaning of one without the other. So coming into a place where you're not judging yourself, where you are super stable in your emotions, where you're super comfortable feeling them, saying it's okay if I do feel this way right now, because I'm not going to feel this way forever. And understanding that this Eight of Swords is no longer your reality. Wow, there is so much power on this table. I'm just blown away. We are a powerful, powerful community here. And I hope you can tap into that energy. I hope you can understand that truth and accept that truth and step into the power of that truth. Each of us has such a specific gift for the world, such a light to give to this world. And until we are finally comfortable with being vulnerable and being authentic and removing every layer and mask that our anxiety and our rejection has taught us to use to hide ourselves, until we fully open up and express that, the world doesn't get to feel it. The world doesn't get to be inspired to do the same thing. The world doesn't get to see your magnificence. So yes, you can rebuild self-trust. Yes, you can learn to listen and discern whether it's anxiety or if it's truly your intuition, because you will learn to have a standard to compare it against, to say, is this me or is this my fear? Is this me or is this my cycle of the old way of living? You will have a golden standard that you can compare it to. And then every decision becomes a lot clearer, and you can rebuild trust in your inner voice, because you understand your inner voice is here to love you. Your inner voice is here to serve you. It's not here to judge you. It's not here to hold you captive anymore. You are creating the life that you love and you deserve. And in doing so, you're learning to trust yourself again. Sending love and light to anyone that is open to receive it. Thank you, Maiden, for this beautiful, beautiful expression of where we've been and how we're going to get out of it. Thank you, Mother, for allowing us to see the timing here, to see how swiftly this can change, to see how we can become so grounded in our emotions. And thank you, Crone, for showing us the life we can create, for showing us the true authority in ourselves, in our identities that we can have once we learn to go inward and explore that inner scape. And thank you so much for showing up here today. Every reading is a chance to change your life if you implement the messages brought forward. If this message hit home for you, you don't have to do this work alone. My 3-day reset will guide you step by step with rituals, reflections, and practices designed for ADHD women like us. The link is waiting below in the description. Grab your reset and you can start doing this sacred work today. And lastly, I'd like to remind you, in this space, always come as you are and stay as you become. Bye, my friends.